Hey to everyone watching, my name is Christine Gasperi, Zifra, and I decided to keep a little video log of my recovery for this second go round for this ACL reconstruction. So a little background about me, if you are someone I don't know, just someone who needs support, who is also going through this. This is my second go around at this. I tore my ACL for the first time 8 years ago, almost to the day, November 23rd, 2011, playing a pickup game of volleyball at where I worked at the time, Lifetime Fitness. I underwent ACL reconstruction about 6 weeks later on January 6th, 2012 with an allograft cadaver, so cadaver graft. Rehabbed pretty fast. I mean, I wish I documented as much as I did, as much as I'm going to this time last time. I didn't really keep a ton of pictures, it was 8 years ago, but I will say that I do remember recovering quite fast. I don't really remember how painful it was right after. Kind of blocked that pain out of my memory, I think, but so that was 8 years ago. I know that I was running, so my surgery was January 2012, and I know I was running on level services by the beginning of February. It wasn't fast, but it was something. It was like second week of February. So, and by April, I know I was running like 3-4 miles, and then I ran the marathon that October, and it was my best marathon time, like 4:26 or something like that. So I recovered pretty fast. I ran a full marathon 9 months after my last ACL reconstruction. So fast forward, through those 8 years, I had done multiple triathlons. I had done an Ironman, a couple more marathons. So I really, I got that knee super strong again. Didn't really do a ton of agility work. I did play volleyball again, sand volleyball. Matt and I played on our honeymoon and played a couple times, pickup games. I don't really remember if I played any court though. I think it was mostly sand. So I left Lifetime in 2015, opened up my own gym, Fit Project. One of my members asked if I could be a sub on her volleyball league. So I was like, yeah, I haven't played in a long time. Like, it'll be fun. Matt's like, yeah, go for it. Like, it'll be fun. Like, be careful. And we were probably, 10, 15 minutes into the game, went up for a hit and came down, and my knee did this weird twist thing. And I was like, ooh, that was weird. I stood up right away. Definitely didn't feel like the first time I tore it. The first time I tore it, I was on the ground, couldn't even walk, needed an ambulance to leave Lifetime. So didn't think it was the same thing because it felt different. I was able to walk. I had full range of motion, full extension, full flexion right away. Wasn't dealing with really any pain. It just felt weird. My knee just felt weird. So decided to get off the court, started icing a bit. Went home. So this was October 22nd, 2019, so a little over a month ago. So the next day, it blew up quite a bit. It got really swollen, really painful, couldn't walk on it, needed crutches. Still was pretty convinced that I just sprained it because it didn't feel the same when I first did it. So, that weekend, so the weekend I tore it, I had a trip planned to California with one of my coaches, Laura, to go do our Kinstretch certification. So I'm wearing the shirt to complete our functional range conditioning certification. I wasn't going to cancel the trip, but I couldn't walk. I was on crutches. So called the airlines and made sure that I could bring crutches on the airplane, set up wheelchair service, all of that stuff. So I thought it might be a good idea before we went on our trip to meet with my surgeon. And my surgeon is Dr. Lopez out of Midwest Sports Medicine in Elk Grove, Illinois. So I set up an appointment with him, and I wasn't, I love him, but I'm like super not happy to see you. And he did the tibia draw test, and right away he was like, I think you tore your ACL again. So after he said that, I kind of blacked out. And didn't really hear anything else he had to say. Luckily, my husband, Matt, was there and was paying attention. and told me things that he was saying, like, you know, we just have to make sure the meniscus is intact. Let's get an MRI to confirm. So that's all I heard was MRI to confirm. And so we set up the MRI for later on that day. So that was 2 days after the accident. Got the MRI later, wasn't going to get the results till 48 hours. So I was like, okay, great. I'm going to get the results while I'm in California. So went to California that weekend. Honestly, the swelling went down pretty fast, and I was able to regain my quad control pretty fast. But my calf was so tight. So if those of you who are experiencing this after you first tear it, it's normal. So your body compensates so much when you injure yourself that you'll notice, one, your quad will atrophy, and two, you're gonna feel weird pain all over that leg. So I was having really bad calf pain. So if it weren't for the calf pain, I feel like I could walk, but the calf pain was so bad, I still needed the crutches. So brought the crutches, you know, to my trip. Was able to do a lot more than I thought in the certification, because it was very practical. So that was good. I felt confident about that. I felt pretty confident because I'm like, I feel the knee feels so good. You know, maybe this isn't ACL. So get back home Monday, October 25th, and got the results that it was a full ACL tear with a slight lateral and medial meniscus tear. So, bummer. Set up for a couple days later to discuss surgery with my doctor. I was like, you know, at this point, I'm just like, I cannot believe I did this again. Like, that first time I went through this, I was like, I never want to go through this again. Like, it is awful. But honestly, like, the first time I went through it, it really made me a better coach. It made me a better athlete. It made me a lot more patient with myself when I'm dealing with injuries. So it really, everything does happen for a reason. My dad always says, you know, see the rainbow. There's always a rainbow after the rain. So I mean, it really did make me better, push me to my limits. So this time I'm like, I don't really know. I don't know what the rainbow is in this situation. I think I'm still kind of trying to find it, because I'm like, how does going through it twice make any sort of sense? And I asked my doctor if he could tell me why this happened to me again, and he said, bad luck. So that's kind of a hard pill for me to swallow. As an athlete, as a coach, as someone who works out so much, like 5-6 days a week, like consistently. Yeah, I take days off. Of course I take days off. I do yoga, I stretch, I'm pretty flexible. I'm just like, how does this happen to me? So instead of digging myself into a hole of sorrow and pity and negativity, I'm just like, well, I did it once before, so I'm gonna do it again. And that's my attitude now. And yes, it still sucks, but I'm like, what am I going to do? So, sorry, that was kind of a long background. So, on Halloween, I went to the doctor and we scheduled my surgery. So since I am self-employed, I own my own facility. I wanted to schedule it the Friday before Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving's kind of a lighter week. We have a condensed schedule at the studio. I wanted to be able to take that week off to recover, recoup, so I can get back to work. So I was able to get the date I wanted. I was super happy with that. But the doctor said, I want you to be careful. I want you to work out. I want you to be active. I want you to get the strength back in that knee. But be careful, because I won't know until I go in if there's a meniscus tear. If there's a meniscus tear, you're 31, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to have to sew it up. That means I want you non-weight bearing for 6 weeks. So I'm like, what? 6 weeks. So prayed every single day since then, my husband and I, that it wasn't meniscus and it was just ACL, because I knew that if it was just ACL, I would be able to put weight on it right away. So during that time, so the next 3 weeks, I was really active. My knee, I mean, if you saw me during this time, like, you would probably be like, you're having surgery? Like, why? Because I felt so good. I got the knee and the quad contracting again. I was able to do pretty much all my workouts. The only thing I didn't really do was run. I just didn't feel like the impact would benefit me, especially if I was having a meniscus issue. But I was swimming, I was biking, I was lifting. I was doing all my PT exercises every day, all those lateral band walks and squats and single leg squats. I was having a hard time doing bilateral work, so like squats and deadlifts and bridges. exercises with 2 legs because my right leg would always want to take over. So I just did a lot single leg during this time. So I recommend, if you're going through this, take a month to get your strength back and get your range of motion back, because you will just be that better off going into surgery, basically not looking like you need surgery. And that's how I felt. The day before, I was going up and down the stairs fine, walking fine. I just was like, is this really, do I really need surgery? But so get yourself to that point. So my surgery was this past Friday. I'm 4 days post-op. Here I am right now sitting here. My dog is sleeping. You'll see Theo a lot sleeping. So here's my leg. They gave me, you know, the Iceman machine. So this is my little ice bag. I'm just sitting here with my leg extended. I will tell you that I did get a different graft this time. So after some suggestions from PTs that I know and my PT, I decided to go with a quad tendon graft instead of an allograft cadaver this time around. So a couple different reasons. I know that we're never going to know why my graft failed, if it was a fluke accident or if it wasn't strong or if it was just bad luck. Like, we're never going to know. So just mentally, I think I feel better getting it different this time, doing it different this time. Plus my surgeon said, you know, he said if you were wearing a jersey, like if you were going back into volleyball, I would do a quad tendon, because of that cutting motion and because of the agility. So that just to me thinks like, okay, the quad tendon is a stronger graft. Now maybe it's a little bit harder of a recovery, but stronger graft. So went with a quad tendon. I'll show you guys in a second what my knee looks like. I'll like unwrap and show you guys. But yeah, so I decided to go with the quad tendon. Surgery went great. No meniscus work was needed. Thank you, God. Thank you, Grandma. So it was just my ACL. So I was able to weight bear the day of my surgery, which was Friday. Saturday was just an awful pain day. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Even the Norcos they gave me were not cutting it. I was just like, oh my God, is this how it's gonna be? But luckily, it was just that one day. By Sunday, I was feeling so much better. I got some nausea meds for my in-laws because I upped the dosage. Sorry if you hear a dog barking in the background. My little Chorky mix likes to be a little yapper sometimes. So I upped the dosage of the Norcos, so that's why I kind of needed the anti-nausea medication for Sunday, because I was getting a little nauseous. But Sunday the pain was definitely a lot more manageable. And then by Monday I went to my post-op appointment where he took off my bandage, looked at the small bandages, the incisions, everything looked good. He set my brace to 30 degrees so I could have a little bit more flexion, told me to start PT, so I started PT right away. So I'll show you a couple of the exercises that I've been doing as well. Just basic stuff right now, just trying to get the quad to fire, which is gonna be a little bit harder this go around because they did take my quad tendon. So I'm gonna unwrap my ice pack and my brace now and show you guys what the knee looks like. Here's the little yappy one. Say hello. Yeah, she's the yappy dog. The lab is just a lazy guy. So here's my little setup over here in the corner. I got my pillows, crutches are over there, medicine, tissue, you know, TV setup. I got my computer going. So here's my ice machine. Here's the knee. So a little bit of swelling here. So this is where he got the quad tendon from. So that looks like about an inch incision. There's another incision up here. So I think there's like 6 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and these are just like little holes. This one he said is just kind of like the tunnel for where he said this won't even be a scar. This was more for like during surgery. So he marked my knee up nice quite a bit. So right now quad sets are one of the exercises I'm doing, just trying to squeeze the leg. I'm not getting much out of it right now. doing heel slides. I'll post. So heel slides, quad sets, leg lifts, assisted leg lifts, because I can't really lift the leg on my own right now, but I'll get there. Walking is doing better. I'm walking with either 2 crutches or 1 crutch, weight bearing, so that's going good. So we're 4 days post-op. I hope that if you are going through this, you got some tips and tricks on what to do for your prehab and then your first couple days. So first couple days is just really about being hydrated. I had water constantly, 0-calorie Gatorade, crackers nearby for when I would take my meds. Just trying to eat as healthy as I can because I'm not being very active, and I'm usually a very, very active person. So that's hard for me personally, but everybody's different. So I'm very anxious to get moving again. So starting and doing the PT exercises every single day on my own, and then icing right after. So I'm not pushing it. My doctor said, you're gonna feel great really fast, but don't push it. So that's my plan. Just listen to my body and just start healing. And I will keep all of you posted with this video blog of my progress. And I'm excited to get back to racing, and I have a triathlon I signed up for before I even got injured, which is at the end of August, and I'm still planning on doing it. It's plenty of time away that I know I'm going to be able to train for it, so that is just always in the back of my head, knowing that I'm going to be able to do that race. So I just got to get through this short-term recovery right now. This first few months is going to be tough getting back into it, but we'll get there. We'll all get there. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.